is Ahmad Yusuf. I'm the CEO for the Fegas Grill & Co. Here, as the CEO of the Fegas Grill & Co, I am responsible for the business strategy, daily operation, as well as the financial growth. Also, I have to ensure the executive decision making and the sustainable growth for our future.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Fikri Hakim bin Fatil and I'm delighted to join Fegas Grill & Co as the head of quality and culinary. In this role, I will be responsible in serving quality operations, especially in terms of menu development and recipe standardization. This is to ensure the highest quality across all of our outlets.
Good job.
Thank you. So, my name is Ethan Chanutai. I'm the Director of Finance and Compliance of Fegas Grill & Co. My responsibility is I oversee financial management, record revenue and expenses, and ensure we comply with all regulatory requirements.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Anonggit. I am the Director of Marketing and Customer Relations of Fegas Grill & Co. My responsibility is to manage marketing strategy, social media, and customer engagement.
So Akib send the supplies to kitchen areas. So, as you guys seen previously, my responsibility is to ensure smooth operations of Fegas Grill & Co, managing supplies as well as to manage inventory levels so that we don't have insufficient amount of inventory for our daily operations. And my name is Sai Praveen Laki Janasekharan as the Director of Operations and Supply Chain of Fegas Grill & Co. Now let's just look at the important clauses that we have included in the partnership agreement constructed in between the partners of Fegas Grills & Co. So generally, in a construction of a partnership agreement, there are few important clauses in that lines the rights as well as the liabilities of the partners. So the key clauses that I'll be explaining is on the profit and loss sharing, which will be the first and the most important clause in the partnership agreement between the partners of Fegas Grills & Co. So in a partnership, I would like to define that profit and loss sharing refers to the net financial result of the business, with profit being the excess revenue over the expenses and loss being the deficit when expenses incurred exceeds revenue, typically shared according to the partnership agreement. Before delving deep into our provision or clause that we have included for profit and loss sharing, I would like to explain that generally in law or under the Partnership Act 1961, Section 26A explains that if there's no agreement between the parties related to the profit and loss sharing, all the profits and loss will be shared equally by the partners, but it is subject to any agreement within the partnership. So in our partnership made within the partners of Fegas Grills & Co, we have included that all the parties or all the partners will be jointly liable for profit and both losses according to their capital contribution percentage. So I would like to talk in brief about the capital contribution that were contributed by our partners respectively. So first, Mr. Ahmad Yusuf as the CEO has contributed an amount of 150,000. Mr. Fikri as the culinary expert has contributed an amount of 100,000 ringgit. Mr. Gabriel an amount of 80,000 ringgit. Mr. Ethan an amount of 100,000 ringgit, and myself, Mr. Sai, injected an amount of 70,000 ringgit. This capital will be used for the business startup costs, including equipment, supplies, and operational expenses for an ordinary course of F&B business. So, our profit and loss sharing percentage will be equally or depend entirely on the capital contribution percentage. So, for Mr. Ahmad Yusof, he will be liable and he will be receiving 30% of profit in cases where the expenses that occurred was deducted from the actual revenue. Means he will be getting 30% of the extra revenue after deducting the expenses. For Mr. Fikri Hakim, he will be entitled for 20%, Mr. Gabriel an amount of 16%, Mr. Ethan an amount of 20%, and Mr. Sai an amount of 14%. This is according to the capital contribution percentage that amounted an amount of 500k, and each of them had contributed a several amount, as I stated earlier, and this has a particular percentage whereby they will be entitled to profit as well as their loss in the company. So basically, this profit and loss sharing is subjected to the agreement that we have gone through in the partnership agreement. So in event of profit, everyone will be equal according to the capital contribution, and the amount of loss also same, it is according to the capital contribution. So in cases of loss, let's say the company suffered a loss of 30 or in fact 100,000 ringgit, so everyone will be liable according to the percentage. Mr. Yusof will be entitled or maybe liable for 30k because he has contributed 30%, Mr. Fikri 20k because he contributed 20%, Mr. Gabriel 16k as he contributed 16%, and that goes on. So the profit and loss sharing is entirely based on the capital contribution to the company, or in fact to the partnership, to start up the business, which amounted RM 500,000. So that is all from me. We will be going on to the second clause.
The second important clause in partnership agreement of Fegas Grill & Co. is related to dispute resolution. Dispute resolution is method used to resolve conflicts like negotiation, arbitration, mediation, as well as the litigation. However, we only opt mediation as solution in ADR. Firstly, we prioritize discussion among partners by open communication to resolve disputes between the partners. Our goal is to find amicable solution that align with the positive work environment. If the discussion fails to find a solution, then we will appoint a qualified mediator from the Malaysian International Mediation Center, simply MIMC, to solve the situation. However, if the mediation fails as well, our last solution is by filing a suit at the court to solve the dispute between partners.
The third important clause in partnership agreement is dissolution of partnership. Dissolution is the formal way to terminate the contract between each partner. In Fegas Grill & Co., there is 3 ways to dissolve the partnership agreement, which consists of mutual agreement, bankruptcy of partnership, and court order. First, mutual partnership. Bankruptcy of partnership also can cause dissolution of partnership when the partnership was declared due to the debt incurred in the course of partnership. Finally is the court order. Court order also can cause dissolution of partnership when the partners conduct misconduct and also the acts of partnership against the law, so that the partnership will dissolve automatically. Next is Fegas Grill & Co. agreed that no bankruptcy or debts of any our partners will render partnership to be dissolved, and any other partner or the other partner can continue or proceed the partnership.
Now, I want to share our experience in drafting legal partnership agreement. It can be a very rewarding and challenging process at the very same time. First, the biggest challenges is understanding the legal jargon. partnership agreement is filled with complex and technical terms that could be difficult to understand. Hence, it's vital for us to do a complete research to get the meaning behind the legal terms under the jurisdiction of Malaysia governance. Second, we need to always balance the diverse needs of each partner. Each partner brings their own needs and unique diversity to the table. Hence, it can be challenging at a certain time to actually maintain the balance, but at the same time maintain the fairness of the partnership agreement itself. Through these challenges, we learn valuable lessons. First and foremost, it's important for us to seek legal counsel advice, especially in terms of having a communication session with our lecturer, Professor Zohaira, and also Dr. Hartini. We also learn that through this partnership agreement, it's important for us to communicate with each other regarding each party's interests and their needs when doing the agreement. The third and the most important thing is when we learn about partnership agreement in class, it's very technical. However, when we try to practice it in the real life, it's totally different face and totally different perspective. Hence, when doing this agreement physically, have much more better understanding regarding what the legal term meaning is, and we currently know how to do it in a professional way.
So, Mr. Ethan, can you offer some suggestions for improvements if a similar agreement were to be drafted in the future?
So a good question. So firstly, I think the first suggestion would be that I think the students should prepare a clause regarding on intellectual property rights, which it will specify who owns any intellectual property created during the partnership and how it will be handled if a partnership dissolves. And secondly is that the students, I would suggest that students should construct the partnership agreement individually. It will test their knowledge and awareness regarding on legal drafting and legal knowledge.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ethan.
From the partners of Fegas Grill & Co.
Thanks for watching.